guys, how we doing today? Awesome. So Ryan Moran's my full name. They call me Rymo, the Slightly Stoopid crew. I've been playing the drums with the band for 21 years. It's been a crazy, incredible, and exciting ride, no doubt. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. It means a lot to me. I've been playing drums for many years, and one of the joys I get from drumming is passing knowledge on and teaching a little bit. So today I've got a bunch of really great guests. We're going to do a little bit of explaining kind of how we approach our instrument, talk a little bit about what we think during gigs, what we're concentrating on in the moment, in the heat of the moment when we're on stage performing, or when we're in the studio recording. So we're going to cover a whole bunch of topics, and I really want to encourage you guys to interact with us, ask us some questions. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to give away, like a whole backpack full of signed drum heads from all the artists. We have a couple CDs, stickers, Close to the Sun stuff, refrigerator magnets. Yeah, what's a CD exactly? I need hold on. Yeah, right. I do that a lot during the gigs. I don't know if you guys ever noticed that, but anytime Miles and Kyle say something kind of silly, I like to throw that one in. But I've got a bunch of great artists today that are joining me, and I want you guys to make a round of applause. First of all, for them, I've got Nick Asta from the Elovaters. He'll be coming up shortly. I've got Rev from Fortunate Youth, make some noise. Yep. And Kevin from Stick Figure. And that'll be our kind of drum focus. And a little bit later in the session, I'm gonna have my good friend Zach, also known as DJ Z-Trip, coming up on the ones and twos. And we didn't plan anything, we're just gonna improvise. So I think that's kind of the theme of at least my delivery this year. In years past, I think this is our 5th year of doing this drum clinic. In years past, I'd always kind of create this almost like a lesson plan, like if I was going to teach a real class. And this year I kind of, life's busy. We had a really long tour. The band, we were on the road like crazy the second half of the year. And I think approaching Closer to the Sun, I was thinking, okay, how can I approach the drum clinic this year? I want to do something a little different. This is probably the 5th time we've done this kind of gathering. And so I guess my concept of this year was to be a little more open-ended and less planned. So my idea is to do a little more improvisation. So I'm going to first kick off a little bit with just improvising on the drums. I haven't planned anything or worked out any parts. I'm just going to sit down and play whatever comes from my heart or my mind. And I'm going to talk about all that kind of stuff with musicians as they come up to the second drum set. If any of you guys were here last year, we did it a little bit different because we had both drum sets kind of on these rolling risers right there. And this year, because Slightly plays tonight on this stage, I think at 6, is that right? 6 o'clock. We just decided to use our rig that we're going to be using for tonight. So yeah, I'm really excited to play a little bit, to talk about what I do and the way I approach the drum set. I've been playing drums since I was about 9 years old, and I'm 48, so coming up on 40 years. Crazy to say that. Doesn't feel like that long, but I've been fortunate to, have played and performed and with a number of different artists. I've been with Slightly Stoopid the longest, 21 years with the boys, and it's been a blessing. I love those guys. Those guys are my family, 100%. And one of the joys we have, is like beyond playing, that's maybe an hour or 2 of our day when we're on the road. But one of the joys I have of being with them is it really truly is like a brotherhood. Like the crew, the band, management, everyone. It does take a village, and that's one of the concepts that we also wanted to put out there. Is we want to thank Cloud9 first and foremost for providing this beautiful venue for us. You guys make some noise a little bit. Yeah. I want to thank, of course, I'd like to thank my bandmates for putting all this stuff together, and our management as well, Silverback Management. It takes a lot of people to make all this stuff work logistically, and we hope that you're having a really great week. So give me a second, I'm going to plug in, and I'm just going to wing it. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Appreciate it. No idea what I just played, or if it was cool. Was it cool? All right, thank you. I'm not sure. So that's one of the things I really like to focus on when I'm practicing is stream of consciousness, improvisational ideas. And I don't get to do that a lot with the band because the band needs a groove, right? We want to dance. We don't want to be on this, outer space kind of thing. So what I do is I just try to think about fluidity when I'm sitting down at the drums, and I think about what I want to say. And if I play something I like, I play it again. And if I don't like it, I try not to worry about it. I just let it go. I try to be, present, but also not be hypercritical of myself in that moment. So even if I make mistakes, I'm like, okay, if I play it again, it's not a mistake, right? So for me, drums have been, central to my life, and I practice pretty much every day. I don't have to make myself practice. It's what I love to do. And so hopefully you guys can kind of see that and get that energy from performances with the band and stuff like that. So first I think we're gonna have Nick come on up. Nick, you ready to do something? Make some noise for Nick Asta, okay? Now while Nick's getting set up, I want to do a couple giveaways. We've got a whole bunch of stuff, like I said, CDs, signed drum heads from the four of us. And what else do we have? Some stickers, things like that. So, does anyone have any questions to start off with? Yeah, right there. We'll get a mic out to you. Hold on. Yeah, thank you. You guys make some noise for my monitor tech, Jess Chapman here. Works with Slightly Stoopid for many years. We also have James Wisner doing front of house sound. You guys make some noise for James Wiz. All right, so let's go ahead with the question real quick.
Do you play with a click track in your earpiece? And if so, how long did it take to get used to?
Okay, that's a really good question. So does everyone know what a click track is, first and foremost? Okay,
So
click track is slang for what's called a metronome. And a metronome is a timekeeper, right? So if you have a timekeeper in your ear, it allows us to really play consistent and accurate time. What I mean by that is I can hear a click in my ear. That's where I start to subdivide. And in my mind, there's a little hamster running on a wheel. And I think about how I can divide those pulses into smaller pulses. We call it subdividing in drumming, right? So if I have that pulse, boom, boom, there's my click track, right? The answer is yes, I do. I use it quite a bit with the band. Also, there's times where I don't use it at all. So fortunately with the guys, they're super flexible. I don't have to use the click track with the band if it's not like, some days everyone's super amped and we're leaning forward and we're kind of rushing the songs a little bit. And I think that's okay. We're all human and it should be organic to a point as long as it's still musical, right? But also it's kind of my job to hold things together if we are getting too far ahead of ourselves. So the answer is yes, I use the click track on probably about 80% of the songs. So I'm hearing I like the tone of a shaker, so I hear the tone of a shaker, which I can control with this device that I'm using over here to my left called the Roland SPDSX. And it has samples, and it also has a click track that I can alter for each song. So actually, when the guys write the set list, my tech, Ryan Baylog over here, wave to a people, right? He'll help me identify which song has which patch, etc., and we just go forward from there. So let's make sure you can get some merch, okay? What do you want? You want to sign Drumhead? Bring him out, right? Let's do one more quick question, and we're gonna get started with Nick. Yeah. Let's wait for the mic. It's coming around. There she is, right there. Hi.
Hi.
What's that?
You had like the white pads on the top of your drumsticks?
Yes.
I've never seen you use those before. Do you always use them?
Hardly ever. That's why I wanted to do something a little different. So those are called mallets. Those are actually made for a timpani drum, which is played in like an orchestra. And I just figured, I don't know, something a little different. Just everyone's using drumsticks pretty much on just about every show here. So I figured, I don't know, mallets would be cool. How you feeling, Nick? You feeling good?
I feel great, Rymo.
I'm so glad you're here. You guys make some noise, please, for Nick. They absolutely crushed it last night. So what do you want to talk about, man?
Well, first off, I just want to say that I'm more nervous right now than I was before our set last night.
Don't be nervous.
No, I was talking to Kevin and Rev over here, and they were saying, you know, this type of thing gets us out of our comfort zone. Doing like a drum clinic and talking about what we do in front of people. So it's definitely not the norm for us. So, and also, it's hard to drum when you're in the presence of greatness.
Like, come on, man. Come on. You know what I'm saying.
Seriously, man, Rymo, one of my biggest influences. I remember I used to listen to Slightly Stoopid on my Discman, my Walkman in study hall.
That's awesome. Thank you, my brother.
So, and I got to meet Bud Gall, the drummer for Sublime,
Yes.
the other day.
Let's make some noise for the Sublime set. That was amazing the other night.
Which is kind of crazy. What do I say to him? Hey, dude, you're my favorite drummer ever.
Right.
Yeah.
What a beast, man. He was so awesome to watch. I really enjoyed
I
that.
think a lot of my drumming actually like derives from what he's done on those Sublime recordings. I remember being a kid and listening to his shuffle beat. He's got like a sick shuffle beat, which is like when the hi-hats shuffle instead of straight. But Bud's fire.
Yeah, man. It was really incredible to watch, man. So besides Bud, give me like one or two other of your influences. Like, who are some artists that you really like got you excited about learning about the drums and becoming a performer?
Shit. Actually, I don't consider myself like a drummer's drummer. I'm not like I don't nerd out over like rudiments and drum shit.
Cool.
I probably should. I think I'd be better if I did, but I just love music in general. So I remember when I was a kid, I would listen to like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
I loved Stone Temple Pilots, and then as I got older, I got into punk, and NoFX and Rancid like took over my life. Operation Ivy, stuff like that. And then, dude, I loved playing fast punk beats.
Yeah, play some, man. Play some punk for the people.
Like Linoleum by NoFX or something.
Supports my head, gives me something to believe.
Hey, don't be mad at me if I fuck this up. I had a long night last night.
Yeah, let's go. Make some noise. So, let me ask you a question with regard to punk rock specifically. Do you to think or not to think while drumming? Not think, right? You just play.
Dude, it's way better when you're not thinking and things are just coming naturally.
Right. Just in the zone, in the moment.
When I'm overthinking about something, I'll flub. And that's the most embarrassing thing you can do as a drummer. Like if I miss a beat, every person notices.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
a guitarist misses a note, no one cares. But if I fuck up a beat, the whole song's messed up.
Yeah, I hear that.
Not to think.
So do you want to play a little bit more? Will you play something that, let's say you played last night, like a little snippet of a groove, or is there something that comes to mind that you could show the people and talk about, like a little bit about how you approach whatever that is?
So I was gonna play one of my favorite drum beats that the Elovaters do. It's the song called The Ladder. It's definitely not reggae. It's I don't know how to describe it. It was kind of like I kind of felt this like Latin feel to it at first. Like Johnny Blaze started playing the riff when we were writing it, and I wanted to do something different on the toms and just keep it unique. So I stagger my bass drum and my hi-hat right here, and then I added some tom. Chorus.
Guys, make some noise for my first guest, Mr. Nick.
Thank you guys so much.
Also known as Nick Zilla.
So many friends and family in this place. What's up, Sean? And also give Kevin and Rev a really hard time. Maybe heckle them a little bit. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much, Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna stand up so I can see you guys better. So for us, it's a lot of fun because a lot of times we're hiding behind guitar players, bass players, horn players, keyboard players, flute players, harmonica players, whatever. I digress. So it's nice for us to kind of have a little bit of a moment where we can explain kind of how we approach things. So I want to do a few more giveaways really quick before we bring up our next guest. Let's see, let me see a show of hands. How many first timers here? Oh, a lot. That's amazing. Thank you guys. I want to thank you specifically. That's incredible. Are you guys having a good time collectively? Yes? No? Awesome. Yeah, it means a lot to us. You know, if you could have told me even 10 years ago that we would be able to host our own festival and that it was going to be successful and enjoyable and just, I don't know the word, invigorating really, I would be pleased with the 10 year ago me. So I want to thank you guys each for that. Let's see. Let me see. Question. Yeah, you got one right there. Who's got one? Paul, you have a question. Come on, ask me a question. All right, anyone else? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, let's wait for the microphone. Where's the microphone? My lovely assistant is coming shortly. That way everyone can hear you.
Check, check.
Yep. Right over there. Yep.
Hey Rymo, thanks so much for everything you do, man.
Thank
I'm
you.
just really impressed by so much, but specifically just listening to you speak and play right now. It's the multitasking involved in the organization skills, keeping time, keeping your organization skills. Obviously you do it, Nick, Rev, Kevin, you all do it so well in music. How well does it translate to other areas of your life?
Can you speak up just the last sentence?
Yeah, how does it translate, the organization, the timekeeping skills that you do in music, how does that translate to other areas of your lives?
How does music and the development of skills in this environment translate to life? Is that about right? To everyday life?
Specifically the timekeeping of the beat and the timekeeping, the organization, the multitasking that
For
you
sure.
do as you're playing.
Yeah, I got a couple ideas for that. So, for sure with timekeeping, let's get him a thing too. With timekeeping, you know, we all can keep rhythm, right? All of us, we have a heartbeat, first and foremost. And we also celebrate holidays annually, right? Every Christmas, we have a Christmas. Every Thanksgiving, there's Thanksgiving. So we have these, I think about rhythm in terms of time a lot because that's my job up here is to maintain solid time and give a bed for the singers to do what they do best and the guitar players and all the guys in the band. But I always think about time as concentric circles, right? We have these large circles like milestones, like getting your driver's license, or your first beer, your first legal beer, whatever, at 21, or just I think of milestones as large circles. A birthday comes around every year, smaller circle. Every month, or every season, even smaller circle within that. So I think about time maybe from a broader point of view, but in terms of how this translates to everyday life, I can speak for myself and say that, I'm 48 years old, I have a family, I have a beautiful wife, 2 kids. So, thank you. Yeah, you can clap for that, that's cool, I'll take that. I miss them a little bit, but I don't know if they miss me or not. But, I look at things hopefully from a broader view as I'm getting older. I think we all do. As we age, we learn how to look at the everyday small stuff and just, no worries. Someone's having a bad day? Okay, I'm not going to let that get into my head or whatever. But I always think about, first and foremost, my family. That's why I do this, so I can, take care of them. And I take this really seriously. I love the feeling of playing drums. I got a lot of my wiggles out in my 20s, and I met my wife when I was like 31. We've been happily married for 17 years, and thank you. Yeah, it's a special thing, There's good days and bad days, you know what I mean? But I think what does help for me personally is that I'm in and out a lot. So I leave, I'm home for a month, I'm gone for a month. I'm home 2 weeks, I'm gone 2 weeks. I'm gone this week right now, and today my kids are playing soccer, my wife's taking care of them. So I look at things now from a more family-oriented perspective. I'm not like raging hard like I used to back in the old days. It's pretty much getting toasty just about on the daily. But now, I try to take care of myself and do whatever I can. I hope I answered your question, brother. All right. Anyone else have a quick one, and then we'll go? Yeah, right here. Go ahead. She's gonna come around. Just try to speak right into it because it's loud with the rain. So.
My son and I, he's 11. We got a drum set. We're trying to learn together.
Yeah.
And we kind of just jam out, but just advice for beginners, what to work on.
Yeah. Okay.
Grooves and fills, how to put them together.
Okay. Yeah. 100%. So advice for a beginning drummer. How many drummers do we have out here right now? Yeah. That's a good amount. Maybe 10 or 12, 15. So the first and foremost, for me, listen to the greats. That's the first thing I would suggest. Listen to everything that came before you. That's how I learned. I learned by turning, Led Zeppelin up as loud as I could on my speaker and driving my sisters and my parents fucking crazy, trying to play like When the Levee Breaks or whatever. But I would say listen. If you like rock, listen to rock. If you like reggae or you like world music or classical, listen to it and absorb what you like about it, and then try to practice and teach yourself those techniques. It's a really good question. There's no real right or wrong way to play the drums. There's guys that can read note for note. There's guys that just play by feel, and they're both valid because we're all making music. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're educated or not. It's, are you doing what you love, right? Kind of that's what life's, I think, about. So I don't want to talk too much. Right now I want to bring Rev up from Fortunate Youth. Let's make some noise for Rev.
Hi guys.
Yeah, Rev.
And gals. Thank you, Rymo, for having us. This is so dope. Yeah, we are nervous when we're up here. That's why some of us play drums, because it's like a safety net. It's a lot more different when you're behind the drums compared to like talking on the mic. But thank you guys for coming out here. If you don't know me, my name's Revelation. Yes, that's my real name. It's not my stage name. People always ask, is your family, biblical? It's like, well, I don't know. I think my dad was just lazy and named me after my uncle. I got 4 brothers. There's 5 of us all together. I'm the youngest one. And we're all named after my dad's brothers. So I have an uncle named Revelation, Samuel, like my brother's names are the same thing. Grew up in Hawaii. Real quick, how I got to Fortunate Youth is, they asked me to kind of step in at this one point in time. We've known each other for about 5 years, back in 2012. And when I met them, they had like a makeshift tour bus. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'll help you guys out. I live in LA now, but not now, but when I met them, I was in Hawaii. I moved up to California. They needed somebody to fill in. I was like, give me all your live recordings. I'll learn it in 3 days. And I went on a tour with them. Thinking that they're gonna pick me up in that makeshift, like handicapped bus. They come rolling up with this tour bus, and I'm like, there's no way you guys upgraded this much. They're like, bro, well, you know, we're pretty decent now. So I'm like, I'm just thankful that I get to be a part of that family. They're a dope bunch of people.
Nice, man. That's a great story. So that's one of the things, like a lot of musicians that I'll stand up again. A lot of musicians, it takes a lot of preparation, right? Like all of us have been playing a long time. You were prepared for the audition. You had 3 days to get everything tight. So how did you approach that? Like that's a steep learning curve for 25, 30, 35 songs.
Yeah, it was funny. So I don't know if anyone is fans of like some artists from Hawaii, but I was on the road with a girl named Anu Hill. And I got the phone call while I was like breaking down my kit, and they said, Rev, we need your help. We're here in LA. I said, when is the show? It's like in 3 days. I said, well, you gotta do me a solid and send me your live recordings. So now, live recordings is gonna give me exactly what I need to do, right? Don't give me the recorded track on the album. Give me exactly how I'm supposed to play it when I play it with you guys. So they did their part, and how I kind of go through it is, you know, I'll get all the names of the songs down because I didn't know 80% of the stuff, right? I'm just saying, I'm from Hawaii, so I listen to a lot of island music and stuff like that, but I usually get down the tempo, the name of the song. I have a weird way of taking notes, so if you guys ever look at my phone, you might not be able to understand it, but it makes sense to me, and I'll put like verse and like punches in there. I don't know how to read or write music. I just know how to put letters together where I can understand. And then I still listen to the live stuff before I get on stage just so I can be prepared. I don't know if you guys see me when I'm on stage. I have a vocal mic because I sing backup for them too. And then I have another mic to my left. That's my talkback mic. So not only am I playing the drums and I'm singing harmonies and I'm running the pad, I'm also guiding the band if we ever need help. If we gotta call an audible for some reason, that's what the mic is there for. But that's not what I just started playing drums with them. And the last time we had a talk like this 2 years ago, I gave some points, and one of them was to make sure that you can provide value, right? So she knows, she teaches it in her class now. She actually took it from last time. But my way of providing value is I didn't want to step over anybody, so I just did drums. But then I added in the pad to make the band sound, the band sounds good, but I'm just adding additions so it can give you guys a bigger picture, a bigger vibe. And then I started singing because there's only a couple singers in the band. And then I started running the talkback so I can help make sure we're always on point. But I don't know if that was a question, but.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. So can you play something for us? What do you got? Let's hear.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear Rev or what? Let's make some noise.
So I really like R&B and funk. That's probably not what I'm gonna play right now. But I guess I can. Does anybody know the song Some Might Say? At all? If you know, it's fine. But you know, okay. Funny thing is, for this song, we were just jamming out sometime this year, and there's a normal way that we play it. For some reason, they just felt that I should play it a different way, and it sounded pretty dope. Hopefully I can remember it without all the stuff in my ear.
But play us a nice like excerpt of how you adapted that rhythm.
Yeah. So I'll play how it usually sounds, and then I'll play how we changed it up. So very simple. And the bass line would go like and then we change it up where it sounds like this. 1, 2,
get the crowd to make some sound. So Rev, I know that you're doing a lot of things at once. Like you said, you're managing the samples, the tracks from your pad. You're singing, and you're playing the patterns. So how did you learn how to separate those here in the mind? Like, what was your approach to? Was it just by doing it, or?
Great question. So one of my biggest influences is this guy named Sean Pimentel. He's back in Hawaii. So I come from a family of musicians. I didn't want to play music, but first I wanted to be a WWE wrestler at one point in time. I don't know what happened. People get me confused with The Rock a little bit.
That's
But
fucking incredible, bro.
who's counting? But I ended up getting into music. Anyways, the drummer for my brother's band, he just killed it. Super simple, but like he knows where to play stuff. I started seeing him sing. I said, let me see if I can sing. And I tried it, and it actually worked decently. And then I saw him play bass and sing, and I was like, that seems hard. My brother can sing and play bass and he can kill it. So I was like, let me try and play bass and sing. And I can sing like one song and play bass. But I just gave it a shot. One, you gotta at least try and sing, right? And born in Hawaii.
Give us a little of that. Just sing some just an extra, right?
You got me out right when my voice is like shot.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's it's a special thing you do, bro, and you do it well. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a song that I sing with the boys, and it's called House Call. It's done by an artist named Max Priest. The reason why I choose that song is if the boys are gonna give me a minute and 30 seconds to sing, I'm gonna give it, right? So like I'm singing, it's like an R&B song, and then I change my voice to sound like a rapper, I guess you could say. So see my voice. Ain't no use pretending you don't feel the way I do with this message that your body is sending. That's one part, and then I change it. Okay, it goes like this.
Huge thank you, Rev. Guys, make some noise for Rev.
Thank you guys. Give it up to Rymo. Thank you, Rymo, so much for having us here.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, man. So one of the things I've really, come to look forward to every year with Closer is all these friendships. Not only with you guys, with the fan base that we've built over time, but also all the guys that we've toured with. We've done a lot of tours over the years. I don't even know how many, but I feel like we've been gone as much as we've been home for the last 20 years or so. And it's really special, getting to know all the different band members. Everyone has a story. Everyone is, is doing their thing, and it's a camaraderie that we all share as musicians that are on the road a lot. We're in airports more than we want to be. You know what I mean? Away from family, away from loved ones. Eating whatever is available a lot of the time. For so many years, and I know I can kind of speak for all the drummers and probably most of the bands here. We've all eaten gas station hot dogs and hungover, just like the worst possible food, just to drive all day in a van to get to the next city. Fortunately, over time and through effort and continuously touring, we were able to kind of improve our living situations and get to the hotel room thing, get to be able to spend a little money on have a steak here and there. But I know for sure that for all the musicians, it's a deep respect that I have for all musicians of any level, because you've gotta work to get to this. It doesn't just happen. Like a lot of times people ask oh, how did Stoopid blow up? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like blow up? Like we've worked. I think we've earned it because we've stayed on the road consistently. We try to perform our best every day. And that's cool. That's an important thing that a lot of people don't think about. They look at our life and they go, oh, you're a drummer for a popular band. It must be like a rap video, like every night, like hot tub and fucking champagne and people you don't know the names of, whatever. And it can totally be like that too, but 9 times out of 10, like 99 times out of 100 or whatever, it's kind of grindy. We're in the van a lot, sometimes, 6, 8 hours a day, just to get to the next city, to lug your drums in, no one cares. There's a warm 6-pack of Budweiser that no one drinks, 2 waters, there's 6 people in the band, here's 2 waters, here's some shitty food, and here's $5 per diem so you can go eat dinner tonight. And like, that's a real story. So I can for sure say that like, almost like every band here has paid some dues in that way. And a lot of times the fans maybe don't see that. They see, oh, the band's doing well and this is, they're flying everywhere and blah, blah. There's a lot that goes before all that stuff starts to happen. So I like to kind of shine the light on that a little bit too, just so people realize that like everyone up here is like full-on professional. You know what I mean? Like we've paid some dues. Thank you. Yeah, we clap for that. Yeah. And it gives me a lot of pride to say that I know that we've all kind of been through those sort of hard knocks to be able to do this now in this beautiful environment. At least we're dry in here, right? Because I know it's dumping rain outside. So I don't want to talk too long. Let's do like 1 or 2 questions, and I'm gonna bring Kevin up. So let's make some noise first and foremost for Kevin and Will Phillips. Amazing. I actually took a lesson yesterday with Will. Will gave me some pointers. I've been learning the Brazilian pandeiro, which is like similar to a tambourine with a head on it. And Will's incredible. And so we hung out a little bit, and then we're gonna give them about 30 seconds to set up. Do we have any quick questions? Maybe do like 1 or 2 really quick. Yeah, right here. Wait for the mic.
What kind of exercises do you do to prepare for playing?
What kind of exercises do I do to prepare to play? That's a good question. I actually just had a few really intense back injuries the last few years. Like right when I hit 40, my body just stopped fucking working for a while. So I had some low back issues. I actually had a couple herniated discs in my low back just a couple years ago, and pretty sure I had a severe muscle tear under my right shoulder blade, more than from overuse. I also had tendonitis a couple times in my 20s and again in my 40s. Weird. But now I'm just, I quit drinking a while back. That's helped a lot. Thank you. Yeah, you cheer for that. That's cool. I appreciate that. It wasn't easy, actually. But I've just been trying to take better care of myself in general. Stretch a little bit, try to exercise, get a little cardio. Been running while I've been down here. I'm trying to do a half marathon next month, so I'm preparing for that. And just staying active. I got 2 kids at home, so when I'm home, I try to really invest in them 100%. And like this life kind of stops, and then I just go to full dad mode, and I'm taking the kids to school and go to the grocery store and cooking dinner. And if I can practice, I usually do it when the kids go to bed. I'll just sit down with a practice pad for an hour or 2, and sometimes watch a movie or whatever, but get my time in. And it's a really good question. Anyone, one more quick one, then we'll get Kevin and Will going. Yep, right here. Let's wait for the mic. She's gonna bring it up. Yep. Go ahead.
Did you send a tape to Primus?
Did I send a tape to Primus? No, I did not. I'm really happy where I am. I love playing with this band. The question is, did I send a tape to Primus? Primus is a great band, one of my favorites. And yeah. Actually their drummer, I've seen them about 4 or 5 times, and their drummer's a massive influence on me. It's probably my top 3 or top 4 drummers. But he recently left and they're looking for a new drummer. And the answer is no. I'm super happy where I am. But thank you for the question. We'll make sure Ryan's gonna bring something out for you. All right, without further ado, make some noise one time for Kevin.
What's up? Thanks for doing this again, man. This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad you could be a part of it.
Absolutely. Yes.
So talk to us. How you doing today? First of all, it's a great fucking set last night. That was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was probably my favorite set we've come down here.
It was crushing, man. You and Nick, man, you guys came with some real energy. It was beautiful to watch both of you guys perform last night.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
So, what do you want to talk about?
I don't really know. I didn't prepare. I'm usually more prepared for this.
No, perfect. This is the theme, right? We're improvising. So should we start with a question?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see where if we can get Kev going on something. Yeah, go ahead. Let's get the mic over here. You got a question? Yeah. right over here, and I can't tell what color that is because I'm colorblind. Thank you. Yes. It's not a joke. It's true.
I've heard it said that drummers pick the genre. As a person who's studying the beat of the band, what are your thoughts on how roots reggae has really started a lot of different genres and new genres are fusing back into reggae, like Aurora Wave, for example. What are your thoughts on like the future of reggae music and percussion?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Personally, I feel like most drummers really just love punk and metal and kind of heavier music because it's just, there's a lot more going on with drums, you know? But yeah, I love what Nate's doing with Aurora Wave, and yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great. I mean, the future. I just love that everyone's just bringing, you know, their previous bands and previous experience into the new music that they're writing. I started a project with Trevor from Soja and you know, yeah, like my roots are like metal on the drums, and you know, Trevor, you know, he's also a metalhead, a big reggae head, and Kyle, the singer-songwriter, and we come together and we're kind of doing our own thing, and it's all original, and that's what every band here, it's like we all have kind of similar influences, but everyone just bringing their own flavor from their own experience. I mean, for me, like I love, you know, Stuart Copeland from The Police. I feel like them and UB40 are kind of the godfathers of this stuff. I mean, they were ahead of their time. But yeah, I good things coming for this scene. And man, I'm so proud of all these bands and what they're doing and the success. And I'm just happy to be a part of it. You know.
Let's hear you play, man. You got some grooves in mind? What do you guys want to hear? You guys want to hear Kev rip on something?
So I had no idea what I was going to do until I saw Will was here. And I was like, can you just come up and play with me?
Yeah.
If you saw the show last night, him and I did a percussion break in the middle of the set.
Yeah, play that.
And I think we're gonna do that. It's really fun. I love. Where's Will at?
Will, where are you, man?
Oh, he's right there. There
you guys, make some noise for Will.
So let me just say, I love that we have Will in the band. He makes me a better drummer. He is just I love you too, man. He studied in Brazil, and what he brings to the band is fucking awesome. And he's taught me a lot about, you know, how to speak on the drums with a little bit of that Brazilian vibe. And yeah, whenever we do these drum breaks, him and I just sit together, and he's like, let's do this and this and this and this. And I'm like, I don't understand that or that, but let's just figure it out. But yeah, this is what we played on the last summer tour, and we played it last night too.
Yeah,
just when I started it's right there.
Yeah, you guys, make some noise. Come on now. Make some noise for Kev and for Will. That was really special, man, when you guys broke down that break. You need a mic? You got a mic over there? Will, say hi to the people, man. You got a microphone over there?
Hello, people. How you doing? Good to be here with everybody.
Yeah, man. Thanks again, Will, for giving me that lesson yesterday, bro. Will showed me some really cool things that I'm learning in this new instrument that Will's master on. So tell me about that break. You have that rhythm, right? You guys lock in on that groove. You have that kind of call. and then you guys go into that 6/8 thing. 6/8 short for the way we subdivide, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6/8 notes, right?
Yeah,
so we think of that.
So the first few sections are in 4/4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or however you want to call it.
Right.
And all of those licks we play, we're like in unison, kind of playing the same exact thing. And are they like common Brazilian, like?
Okay, so this
Soca.
It is a lot of like Brazilian influence breaks from like Bahia, Brazil especially. And but this particular one is like a mixture of a lot of them. So we kind of made it up and just using other people's languages as one whole.
Will you guys do another short excerpt? Because I got one more guest I want to bring up after you guys. And you guys want to hear them play some more? We can talk all day. We can
We're just gonna improvise for a second.
But we got about maybe 15 minutes, and I got one more guest that want to get up. You guys, make some noise, please. Clap your hands, everybody. Hey, everybody. Clap your hands. Yes, you guys. Come on, make some noise, please. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you both. Thank you guys. So, as I was saying right before the boys came up, again, like, this is all about, for me, like, seeing my friends, right? I see these guys a lot of times when we're touring together. We see each other a lot for a month or 6 weeks or 8 weeks, whatever. Then sometimes we don't see each other for 6 months or a year, whatever it is. So I always feel like being at Closer to the Sun specifically is kind of like it's like a family reunion for all the bands. So it's really, it's fucking amazing. You guys, please make some noise one more time for that, just for that. So for my final guest, I just met this man like about a week ago, and we did 3 rehearsals in a row, and then we are here now. And so I want to bring up my boy DJ Z Trip. Make some noise for Zach, please. So it's been a lot of fun to have a DJ, come sit in with us this week here at Closer. There's a lot of songs that Slightly Stoopid plays where we utilize a DJ in the studio. And before I was in the band, like 22 or 23 years ago, what's up, Z? There was a DJ that was doing some studio work with the band and stuff like that. So it's a joy to have Zach up here. And he's a true professional. Zach, tell us a little bit, really quick, before you jump in. Tell us about some of the artists that you've worked with over the years.
Oh, man. So I've been doing this 35 years plus, and for those of you who don't know what I'm doing, or what any of this is, or what a DJ really does, I mean, when you think DJ, people are like, oh, the guy on the radio, or like the guy who does the bar mitzvah, or the wedding guy, or whatever. But I'm definitely not that. I'm up here with vinyl records, doing it, right? Like really doing it. But just to really give you an idea of what it is, I'm up here running music back and forth, samples, triggers, little sounds, little bits and pieces. And it's really about sort of highlighting when I'm playing with a band. But as myself, I go out and I do shows and I perform and whatnot, but I also work with other artists, and I played with a billion artists, and I love doing it. So anytime I get to sit in and rock with bands, it's fun for me because I get to exercise that muscle. So people like Galactic, Medeski, Martin and Wood, I don't know, there's a million, but the last 14 years I've been music directing for LL Cool J, so I work with a lot of rappers, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't want to, I could go on and on about me, but I really just want to tell you how I slid into this thing. I did a show with Carl Denson, another guy I played with a bunch.
Yeah, Yeah, make some noise for Carl Benson.
Go, Carl. And we were doing a show, and they were doing the Beastie Boys tribute, right? And so Kyle and Miles and those guys were out doing their thing, and they just heard me get down. And Kyle was like, "Hey man, why don't you come over to the crib and we can mess around, bring your turntables." And he's like, "Check this out, I got something." And I was like, "Oh, I got something for that." And I was like, "I got something." He's like, "I got something for that." And that just kind of happened. And in like a half hour, we had 10 things that we just created out of thin air. And it just slowly got to this point where he's like, "Why don't you come and sit in with the band? Why don't you come down to Closer to the Sun?" It's my first year.
Make some noise, first year.
Sitting in, rocking with the band, but also performing and doing my own stuff. So it's just been great. But I can go on and on. But let's get into something.
Yeah, so I kind of at the last second, literally today, we Slightly Stoopid did a sound check at whatever it was, 1 o'clock today. And we were all trying to fit up here, which was kind of a feat in itself, because we're all big boys, and there's however many of us there are, it's like 7 or 8 right now. So I just said, "Hey Z, I'd love it if you could come and like maybe we'll just like improvise something, and I'll just listen to you and you listen to me, and we'll call and respond and we'll interact." So a lot of things, for me, what's always exciting about playing with professionals such as Zach is that we're listening to each other all the time. I mean, when I'm up here, it's not really about just me. I want to play the drums. My role in the band really is to provide sort of a rhythmic sort of structure so that the other guys don't have to think about it. They can just float on what I'm playing. And when Zach came last week for rehearsals, we were having a blast just doing some call and response. He's been doing all kinds of different, things where we're sort of just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I thought it would be, kind of fun and exciting to just do an improv and just see what happens. You want to just get down?
Yeah.
We give us a little demo of like, some ideas.
I'll show you. And by the way, just really what I'm doing is, I've got these sounds right here. Like this is one sound, right? And if I bring the record back, it's this, right? So that's what's going on with the record. And then I have an on and off button that is making the sound chop, so I can do this. Right, that's the kind of how you get rhythmic with it. And if I put the mic down and we get busy, we can do something like this.
We don't know what we're doing, so just hope you enjoy it. no idea what we're doing, just listening to each other. And like, that's a big part of anyone that's on stage, you know, the first thing you need to learn if you ever want to play an instrument with people, which is what we all try to, we all want to do that, is listening to each other. So I just, as soon as he goes with something, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I feel that, let's go. And then we're just vibing.
100%. And I also got to preface this by saying, and I don't even know if he knows this, but I started out as a drummer as a kid on a CD700 drum kit, you know what I mean?
Nice.
OG, learning it, and grew up listening to people like John Bonham and Neil Peart, just idolizing that, playing that stuff, playing to those records, playing to Tom Sawyer. So I have an understanding of timing and drums and rhythm. And by the way, when I said, when Kyle was like, hey, do you want to sit in with a band and rock? I was like, yeah, but you gotta put me right next to the drummer, because if I'm not locked in with him, if I'm way over here, I can't communicate with him, and we can't have eye contact. And you may watch while tonight might be a little tough because there's 1,000 people on the stage, but if you ever get a chance where you can see us and you lock into us, I'm watching him, I'm locked into his groove, and the melody and all the other stuff really comes second, because to me this is the metronome and the anchor. And he's a hell of an anchor, by the way. We just met, but you're badass. You know that, right?
I appreciate
Give him his
it.
props. He's a badass.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Z.
For sure.
So it's been, really a pleasure to be here with you guys today. We're gonna close. We've got a few more minutes left. We're gonna go just a few minutes overtime. But first of all, really quick, can we make some noise for all my guests today, please? Z-Trip, Nick, Rev, Kev, and Will Phillips. Really appreciate all you guys. It helps me feel more comfortable, so I'm not up here at a loss for words. And I think what I want to close with is just like an improvisation. So I'm gonna have Z stay up, and what I want my guests to do, Nick, Rev, and Kev, and Will as well, is cycle through the drum set over there. I'm gonna play too, and we're just gonna see what happens. Is that cool with you guys? So we didn't really plan anything, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna listen to each other and interact in that way. So I'm gonna listen to Z, and then we're all gonna kind of interact and just see where it goes. I have no idea what's gonna happen. It could be amazing or it could be not amazing, I don't know. I just want, while we're just prepping for that really quickly, while we're just kind of getting set up, you guys can just decide who wants to play drum set first or whatever and just go that way. But does anyone else have any questions? I really want to keep it question oriented. I see you in the back there. Let's see if we can get the mic back there to the arch on the right side, the man in the black shirt. Yep.
So my question was, we all know your influences, but I was wondering, do you look at any up-and-coming drummers in other genres?
100%, yeah.
Like inspiration and feels and stuff like that?
100%. I mean, all of us, first and foremost, are music fans, right? So what first made us want to play the instrument in the first place was like Zach said, listening to the greats, right? The Bonhams, the Neil Pearts, I'm gonna forget 8,000 greats, but Tony Williams, exactly. All right. Keith Moon, I could go down the list, right? Thank you for that Tom Sawyer drop. I'm a huge Rush nerd, first and foremost. I find that music so inspiring. But to answer your question, it's we listen to everything. I listen to, if I'm walking down the street, there's a guy that's playing on the street, and he's playing something cool, I'll stop and listen to him. I try not to, I don't approach music with any kind of judgment anymore. I think when I was younger, I was trying to improve my own skills, so I was hypercritical of everything around me. And as I've become older and I've grown into a comfortable place in my life, I've gotten away from all that and let go of all that judgment in the form of hate or jealousy or all those negative emotions. I just look at, if someone's doing music and they love what they do, fucking right on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna I'll judge no one, whether you've been playing for 30 years or 60 years or 5 minutes. If music is about, the energy and the power that it holds over all of us, right? Not only us as fans too, all the musicians that are up here, but also, you guys, of course, that's why we're all here, to enjoy just being in a musical moment together. That's really what life's all about, I think. So let's do 1 or 2 more quick ones and then we'll get into the jam. Oh, Paul. Make some noise for Paul, everybody.
What's up, buddy?
Paul's a great drummer in his own right. So, bro,
thank you so much. I came here with a bunch of people who don't know the music, don't know the gear, don't know an intro or your outro last night, that EDM outro that you guys did. It's fucking dope. So I've been telling them, dude, he's playing on a fucking snare that's this. Could you explain some of your gear, or maybe your snare that you play, your cymbal setup, maybe for some of the people that aren't musicians and drummers?
So
it's cool to them to see that, oh my God, What's that lamp thing that you got? Here's a lamp over here.
It's a
He's
shaker, right?
No, it's not a lamp.
It's called a bucket shaking it.
Bucket shaking.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so you want us to run through like the different elements of the drum set?
Gear is badass.
All right, let's do that. You want to jump in or you want me to take it, Kev? You have a microphone? Okay, I'll just jump in since I got a mic. So the elements of the drum set are pretty amazing. And when COVID stopped everyone from touring for a minute, I actually decided, I don't know why, but I went back to school. And I graduated with a music degree in 2000. And I don't know why, I'd always thank you. But I always wanted to go back and take more classes and just nerd out, because I'm a full nerd about all this shit. And one thing I learned as I was studying, I took a couple classes in ethnomusicology I got inspired to do that by one of my musical heroes, Mickey Hart from the Grateful Dead. And I love Mickey in the Dead, of course, but one thing that really inspired me personally and gave me a lot of direction in my own path was watching him with his Planet Drum. If you guys, any drum nerds know about Planet Drum, it's amazing. It's basically a bunch of master drummers from India, Africa, Latin America, and all over the world. And he plays drum sets sometimes and other instruments. But that exposed me to this whole new world, because growing up I was a Dead fan, but I didn't know that all those world elements at that time. I think I was 12 or 13, and that really inspired me. So anyway, I'm going off forever. The drum set is made up of a whole bunch of voices, right? So we have a low voice, the bass drum. You feel it right in your chest. If someone's playing the bass drum with power, you're gonna just feel it, gut, chest, right? Heart. Snare drum. Very important instrument, especially for our timekeeping. Kick and snare are very important. What makes that drum have that sound? There's wires underneath the bottom of the drum head. So we have a top and bottom head. On the bottom, there's wires that create that rattle. For my left foot, I can pedal. It's called my hi-hat. So my hi-hat, I can control with my foot pedal, and I can also play it, obviously, with my right hand. A lot of things you could talk about just with this one sound, because it affects a lot of different types of grooves that we know about, certain techniques go with certain sounds. Tom-toms. And then, of course, cymbals. So all these were adapted from different countries and different regions all over the world, and I kind of learned a lot about this stuff when I was taking a couple classes. And basically, cymbals originated in Turkey, and they're still made. Some of the best ones are made there. I play a company I've been endorsed by for years, Istanbul Agop. They're made in Turkey, handmade. The tom-toms originally in the drum set setting back in the early 1900s came from China. So drummers were using these sort of thrown together sound elements in, let's say, like a playhouse, a theater house. There'd be a bass drum that they were using marching band, and a snare drum for marching band. So those sounds sort of evolved from a military background. And then all kinds of other elements like the timbale that a lot of us use. You hear a lot of it in reggae and Latin music, has this sound. And it works, of course, in reggae, but it evolved from drums in Cuba. So the drum set itself is sort of a thrown together mishmash, which has evolved into a modern instrument. But initially it was really just guys over time throwing all these different sounds together and then performing in these silent vaudeville theaters or whatever, where there's a silent film and there's a guy with a marching bass drum and maybe another guy with a snare drum, and before you know it, you got one guy. They're trying to cut costs, right? You got one guy playing all this shit. So that's sort of a quick 1 minute sort of synopsis. Let's do one more quick question before we jump into a little bit of jam off. Yeah, I see the kids. Let's get the kids over here. Let's get them involved right here. The kids right here, there's about 4. What's up?
Who's your favorite drummer?
Favorite drummer? I'm gonna have, who's yours? Yeah. I'm throwing it on you. No, I've got 50. I got 50. I'll give you 5. Is that cool? Can I give you 5 answers?
That's a lot easier, 5, yeah.
Tony Williams, incredible jazz musician. Neil Peart, I already said that. John Bonham, maybe want to play Day One. Stuart Copeland from The Police. because his approach is so unique, it's him. When you hear him, it's his voice. Who would be my last one? There's a lot. Probably Vinny Caliuta, play with Frank Zappa, Sting, go down the list of like 8,000 artists. The guy's absolute genius. You want to add to that, or should we jump in?
Of course, the all-time greats like Buddy Rich,
Yep.
Gene Krupa,
Yep. The list is huge.
Dennis Chambers.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. There's too many. They're all masters of a very specific thing in their own right. Yeah.
So you guys ready for a little super jam, and we'll set you free? I really appreciate you guys all being here. It means a lot to me and to all of us, you know, for you guys coming out supporting us. So what we're gonna do is, for this last little bit, we're just gonna like vibe. We haven't planned anything. We don't know what we're gonna do. So what I want you guys, if you can, have like rotate Nick in, rotate Rev, and we're just gonna like freeform and see what happens. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks so much.
Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean
more time while we break it down. Make a little noise for Z-Trip right here on my right side, your left. Make some noise for Kevin from Stick Figure, please. Thanks, Kev. We got Nick from the Elovaters. We got Rev from Fortunate Youth. And also Will Phillips on the percussion today. So we're gonna just play a little bit more. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Please, one more time for all my friends. I really appreciate you all. Thank you guys. We'll be up here at 6 o'clock with Stoopid, get crazy for our final night here. Thank you guys again. I really appreciate it. One more time for our working crew. Jess Chapman on monitors, James Wisner up front of house. All the Cloud9 support, our drum tech, Ryan Balon.